River, Fox's alert in Africa. Zimbabwe's embattled president addressing the nation on state television today, ending his speech, though, without announcing his resignation. You know, after a military coup, Robert Mugabe, the infamous strongman who has held power there for decades, well, he was expelled as the leader of the governing party, which urged him to step down or face impeachment. Connor Powell now, live in our Jerusalem bureau, with the very latest on this. I mean, Mugabe, he has been there for decades, a well-known basic dictator. He didn't formally step down in this announcement. So basically, Connor, what happens next?
Well, it's not clear, Eric, who's in charge right now, but it is clear it's no longer Robert Mugabe. Flanked by military officers, Mugabe gave a rambling and somewhat incoherent speech calling for unity. And then at the end of it, he just sort of got up and walked away. Most Zimbabweans and people watching were expecting him to say something about that he was going to resign. He's clearly no longer in power, put under house arrest over the weekend by the military there, his own party voting today to kick him out of the party, and then demanding that he step down, resign either by tomorrow noon or they begin an impeachment process. There does appear to be some type of Congress being planned for the next week or two, in which he'll be the sort of overseer to pick a new leader. But this all really began in the last week or so when it was clear that Mugabe was trying to instill his wife, a very much younger woman, in power. He also fired a former vice president from office that was very well connected to the military. Those two acts seem to set in motion this entire thing. Mugabe, it was somebody who most Africans looked at as somebody as a leader for his stance of being anti-colonialism, his stepping up against the West during his almost 40 years in power. He initially brought improvements in healthcare and education to Zimbabwe and really was hailed as a significant leader in the continent. But he really did wreck what was one of Africa's greatest economies there in the last 15 or 20 or so years. Now, it is, again, not clear who's really in charge, but the name that is being thrown out there, Eric, is the former Vice President Emerson Mnangagwa. His nickname, though, is the Crocodile, so it's not clear if this is somebody who's going to bring democracy and human rights to the country and really clean up the country. He is somebody who is seen very much in the mold of Mugabe, but he is the one that most people are pointing the finger at, Eric, that it will likely take control over the country.
All right, Connor, thank you. Would be an end of an era. Thank you.